Hey guys, it's me Wellyn and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Well, today's video, as I promised, I'm gonna share to you what really happened to me. So as you can see in the title of this video, I'm gonna share to you the story of my fibroid journey and my fibroid removal surgery story. Well, yes, I know that there's a lot of you guys, my friends, my relatives, who were not aware of what I was dealing with. So thank you for all your concerns. I'm gonna answer, as I promised, all your questions, what really happened to me and when did it start. Okay, but before I start, I just want to make a special shout out to my special friend, Dr. Mary Rose Gabutin. Thank you so much, dear, for always being there for me all throughout this journey. Well, as you know, guys, she was the one who used to read my CBC test results. Yes, she was in the Philippines and I'm here in Qatar, but I don't know how to read my CBC test results before, but she was there who guided me, who advises me to go to the doctor now because her hemoglobin is so low, and so on. So thank you so much, dear. See you soon. Thank you. And so before I will start my story, I just want to remind everyone, as a disclaimer, I am not a medical expert. Again, I am not a medical expert. If you think that you're experiencing the same thing that I'm about to say, please do visit your OB/GYN doctors because they are the only ones who can tell you what's going on to your reproductive system. Okay, don't rely so much in Google. Okay, so a lot of people really didn't know and they are not aware what is fibroid. Well, fibroid is also what we call myoma. Okay, so this is actually a tumor that grows and develops inside or outside our uterus. But this tumor is actually a non-cancerous tumor. So don't freak out. If your doctor tells you that you have a fibroid, don't freak out because this is actually a non-cancerous tumor and this can be cured. That is by surgery. Okay? So when did it happen? It happened last May 2021. I think it was like end of May. I was bleeding too much. Like you can't even imagine. Like I was using 2 pads at the same time. That's how much the bleed is. And I had experienced a very strange blood clot. So if this is a napkin, I had this big blood clot around the napkin. Like it is too much big, guys. So I knew from that day it was not normal, that there was something going on. But then I didn't go to the clinic yet because I thought that it is just part of my period. Like blood clots is actually normal. So don't freak out again if you have blood clots because it's actually normal. But that time, mine was really too big blood clot. Like bulwak talaga siya, guys. So it was June 4th. I decided to go to the clinic. I was still bleeding that much. Still, the doctor just prescribed me a medicine, a pill, actually a Primulot pill. That's not a birth control pill, but it's a pill to avoid bleeding too much. So she told me to come back when my period will be stopped. So it was June 10th. I came back and she did that ultrasound test. And after the test, there she told me that, oh dear, you have a fibroid, you have to go under surgery and then you have to remove it. And I was like, what? Doc, what is fibroid? What is surgery? Because I never had any surgery in my whole life yet, so it was the first time. So when the doctor told me that I need to go to the emergency, I need to go to the doctor to have it removed, to have it surgery, I was shocked. Like I was about to cry because I really don't know what to expect. I really don't know what to respond because it was the first time. Everything was so new to me. Like, what is fibroid? And she told me like it's a myoma that grows outside your uterus, and if you are planning to get pregnant soon or someday, you have to remove it so you can have a baby. You can develop a baby inside your uterus. And I was like, so it means I cannot get pregnant? And I was really like freaking out because no way. There she told me that the only thing you can get pregnant someday is to remove that fibroid or tumor outside your uterus. So okay, and then like few weeks later, I really wanted to have a second opinion, like because I thought that there's still like other way aside from surgery, like if there's some medicine to take to shrink the tumor or that fibroid thing. So some other friends advised me to go to this doctor because she's a great doctor. So I went to the clinic where she was working, and then she did the same thing. She did the ultrasound thing, and then it was the same result. It was still the same 3 cm fibroid that needs to be removed outside my uterus, as she said. They gave me a referral to the public hospital for me to be prioritized, but then that time last year, COVID is still really going on. So it takes like more than a year for me to have a schedule for surgery here because it was not really that emergency, because 30% of women around the world are having this kind of illness, which is like common to among women. But of course, you are dealing with so much bleeding every month. So it seems like every 2 weeks I'm bleeding too much. And well, maybe a lot of people didn't know that when I post, like I was so happy, but really I am suffering every month of too much bleeding and too much pain, too much blood clot. There were times that I have a blood stain while I was working in the office, and sometimes if I go somewhere, blood stains are there because I can't help myself, to stop bleeding. Even though I have to take the medicine, there are times really that it cannot help but to bleed. So that was really too much for me to deal with. So I was just hoping and wishing, praying that I could have the surgery because I wanted to end it. I wanted to end this bleeding thing. So it's really a lot of things happened last year. I even had a lot of severe acne, as you can see, guys, because of this hormonal change of my body. And then this year, last June, I had a sore throat, and then I went to the clinic to get it checked up because I thought there's something on my throat. So the doctor advised me to have a CBC test because I might have a lack of iron. So when I did and I saw the result the next day, the doctor even called me that your CBC result is so alarming because my hemoglobin went to 7 instead of 15. So I was like, oh my God. So the doctor told me to just come in the clinic now. I will refer you to the emergency hospital to give you a blood transfusion. So I was like, oh my God, what's happening? So I went to the emergency hospital, and then the doctor said, oh my God, your hemoglobin is 7 and your heart rate is not so normal. So instead of blood transfusion, they gave me iron infusion. So they infused me an iron, and that is, I think, better for me. Iron. So as you can see, that's me having an IV. It was really hard for me to accept what was going on because you're far from your family, your friends were here, but of course you were dealing it too much. So then after that, I had to change my lifestyle. I had to cook for myself because I used to just order sometimes because, sometimes you are lazy to cook. But it was not an excuse anymore. So I used to cook for myself. I used to change my lifestyle because I need to have an iron. I need to make my iron high again, my hemoglobin. And so because the doctor told me that they will not do a surgery to you unless your hemoglobin is higher. So I had to do everything to make my hemoglobin higher again. So after that was so strange again, the bleeding thing. It's been like every other week I have bleeding, and I'm going there almost every other week in the hospital to report what was happening. in my system. But then I can see that my hemoglobin is getting higher and higher until July 18th, when I came back to the doctor. They told me that, okay, you're gonna undergo a surgery, your schedule will be August 15th, and your blah 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 blah. It's like that. So I was like, okay, this is it. For those who are asking if what kind of surgery they didn't make a cut on me, okay? They took that fibroid through my keyhole. So just imagine how hard it was, since it was my first major surgery in my life, and it was really hard. So that's me before the operation, waiting for the doctor, waiting for my turn to be transferred in the operating room. And then when it was my turn, I went to the operating room. There was a lot of doctors, nurses, and then like few seconds I was asleep. I didn't know what happened. I just woke up when I was in the recovery room, and then they told me you're not allowed to go home alone, so I have to call someone to pick me up. And thanks to Luis for being there. Yeah, there it goes. Now I'm basically in my few days of recovery, and I'm really hoping that everything will go back to normal. My bleeding, my menstruation, I really hope that it will never come back anymore, because some people are saying that it grows back. So I hope it will not. And shout out to Ati Banks also, who had the same thing as mine. So cheers to us, you did it. And to all women who have been dealing with the same thing, salute to all of you guys. We did it. And I know this is not really easy thing to deal with. Just be strong, because there's no other way but to be strong and to have faith in God all the time. And for those who are watching this, and if you think you are having this kind of thing, please don't assume. Just go to your doctor and have it checked up. So thank you so much for watching. I hope all your questions had been answered, and there's nothing serious now, and I'm okay, and I am fine now. Thank you so much for all your concerns. I really appreciated it. And thank you also to all my friends, you know who you are, who've been keep on checking on me while I'm in the hospital to make sure that I'm okay, I'm not alone, I can do it. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. And of course, to all my families and my friends who've been praying and checking on me, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the love, even you're all away from me. Thank you so much. And see you all in my next videos.